one is for Shruti.
When our mothers or grandmothers used to live it, when career options were very less. Like they talked about it, at that time education was not that important, you know. But even my mom, she used to say, "Ki BA karni bahut hai, you know, ab tum shaadi kar lo," and all that. But when we consider ourselves to be so lucky that we have so many options, we also live in this world where we see so many women who don't have those options. They don't have those basic rights. So as we celebrate International Women's Day today, I hope all of you know why we celebrate Women's Day. It's because of the women's rights and equality and everything. And I would love to share my thoughts and experiences about what made me admit that I am a feminist. I support feminism. Anybody knows what a feminist is? Anybody? See, I would like you to interact with me, not just to listen, first of all. So, anybody who knows what feminist is? Okay, no one. So basically, feminism is a person who supports femininity, who talks in favor of women, who talks in favor of women equality. But I would consider feminism to be something like gender equality for both men and women. Because I'm a female, I'm always expected to aspire to marriage. I'm expected to make my choices, always keeping in mind that marriage is the most important thing. Marriage, obviously, can be a source of joy, source of love, source of support. But my question is, why do we only teach our girls to aspire to marriage and we don't teach our boys the same? All of you sitting here, what is your dream? Somebody would be in final year, I think. Somebody would be in second year. So what all do you dream of? Anybody? Raise your hands. What all do you dream of? Come on. Anything, anything. Even if you dream of getting married, that's okay. Just say it. Come on, say it. Just say it. Say out loud. Come on, it's about women. Come talk about it. Or should I pick somebody up randomly to talk about? Okay, you tell me. What do you aspire to be? No one? Okay, let's come to a direct question. Anybody of you, ma'am, even you guys, have you ever thought of having your own house? Your own house? Yes. And you still aspire. I am so happy to know that. I tell you, what happened was, once I was talking to a very close relative of mine, and they were like, "Tera sapna kya hai?" मैंने कहा मेरा सपना है मेरा अपना घर हो. He said, कोई बात नहीं, तो टेंशन मत ले. We'll find you a very rich guy who has a big house. And I was like dumbstruck. Oh my God, that is not what I meant. I want my own house. You know, actually I think, yes, that was wrong for me, but also we do a bigger disservice to boys in how we raise them. When in school or college, this is a girls' college, yeah, but yes, we have boys' colleges as well. And a boy and a girl, they have to go out on a date. Both of them are teenagers. Both of them, they live out of pocket money that their parents give them. Yet when they're on a date, we look up to boys that they are going to pay. Is that true? Is that true? Everybody? Yes? If you go out with a friend, okay, let's not talk about boyfriends, but if you go out with a friend, you always expect that, oh my God, he's going to pay. So the problem is that we link masculinity to money. We always want the guys to pay. And obviously, because how history has always been, women have been into house, we've been homely and whatever, so men have more money today. But I think if we start raising our children differently today, things would change. Maybe in 50 years from now, or maybe in 100 years from now. The right attitude would be, not the boys have to pay, but whosoever from both has more should pay. What do you think? Yes. Yes? So of course. And by far the worst thing we do to males is that we make them so hard. We teach them to be so hard that we make their egos very fragile. उनकी egos इतनी नाजुक होती हैं कि जरा सा आप कुछ कर दो वो hurt हो जाते हैं. Right? Do you feel so? Yeah. And because their egos are fragile, we also do a bigger disservice to women because we train them to cater to those fragile egos of men. हमें ये सिखाया जाता है कि तुमने उनकी ego hurt नहीं करनी. We teach the girls to shrink themselves. We teach the girls to become smaller. We say to girls, you can have an ambition, but not too much. You should aim to be successful, but not too successful. Otherwise, you will threaten the man. If you are the breadwinner, as in you have a job which is probably higher paying than the man, pretend that you're not, especially in the society. Otherwise, you will emasculate him. You will hurt his ego. अगर society में पता चल जाए कि बीवी ज़्यादा कमाती है, तो you know how it is. So, it always hurts the ego of the man. My dad, he wanted me to be a CA, and I had to literally fight to go to NIFT because I always thought I was born to do fashion. And I still remember when I was gifted storybooks, just to read. I never used to read the storybook. I just used to paint the gowns of the princesses. That's what I used to do. So, anyways, I've had an amazing academic time. I struggled very hard. I worked very hard to bring out the best in me. And definitely, I got a very good placement, a very good campus placement, the first day itself with the highest package. हमारी placements क्या होता है final year जब हमारा होता है final semester उसकी शुरू में ही हो जाती हैं, and then we have the entire semester to show the design collection and everything. But in due course I realized that no, I was not meant to work for anyone. I was meant to do something bigger. Now what? So I decided I'm ready to risk it all. And I sent a regret letter to the office. It was the Future Group in Mumbai that I am not going to join. Anyways, my mom and dad did not know about it then. When they got to know, I made a call कि मेरा final design collection है, and it went awesome. And also I have to tell you that I've sent a regret letter that I'm not joining. They were so mad. So क्या करेगी? And I was like, I'm going to start my own business. I'm going to start my own venture. Okay, ठीक है. Now this news कैसे हजम करें? So they told everybody, the relatives, the society, everybody knew. Okay, she left her job because initially they so proudly said that she's got an amazing job, but now how to tell to people? All right. They were more worried. Why? It was not because I've given a good damn job. It was because the society has frightened them. You know what? If she's doing a job, she can leave it anytime. जब उसकी शादी होगी आपको क्या पता कहाँ होनी है? She can anytime leave her job, but her own venture, how is she going to do it? She's never going to leave. And who allows women to work in our families? I belong to a Baniya family. So, it's just like that, marry the girls early on an early age, and they cannot work because obviously we are big businessmen, etc., etc. Oh my God, so much pressure I had, but then I was not meant to listen to anybody. I was like, no, I am going to do it. I'm going to follow my passion. My mom and dad did support me because obviously at that time I made an alibi कि मम्मा 2 साल में मैं शादी कर लूँगी. But no, when you're into business, you have to give a lot of work. It's your baby. You have to take care of it. You cannot leave it in the middle of the way. कि ठीक है 2 साल का हो गया अब छोड़ दो. Now I can start something else. No. Somebody once they asked me if I would ever get worried that my man would be intimidated or frightened by me. I was like, no, never. Because a man who would be intimidated by me is a man I would never want for myself. Women face very hard choices between professional success and personal fulfillment. I see men and women, they do equal jobs at work. They go through equal mental pressure. They go through equal physical labor. But when they come home, as is kind of a rule of conduct that's always been, that woman goes into the kitchen directly because she has to cook. And they also have a baby. So when she's in the kitchen, the baby starts crying. And the husband says, okay, he goes there, he picks up the baby, changes the diapers, and the girl from the kitchen is shouting, oh, thank you, darling, thank you for the help. Why? Why does she has to thank her husband? Did he thank her for cooking? No. So it's so bad actually. But then I realized, why did it happen? It happened right away when they were children. When she and her brother, they came from school, they went for playing, and both of their parents are working. So the brother comes home and he calls up his mom and says, Mom, I'm hungry, what do I do? Mom says, okay, give your sister the phone. Sister takes the call. And what they say is, baby, why don't you go into the kitchen and cook some noodles, Maggi, Zlang, or whatever, and feed your brother. Does that happen? Has it happened to anyone?
Yes.
Yes. So I hope at that time parents would have told the brother as well, why don't you cook for yourself? Come on, I mean, food is the basic thing. It's like the basic thing that you have to nourish yourself. We teach our children so many things, but we don't teach them how to make basic food. We cannot make a chapati. We cannot make a dal. If we are alone somewhere, we should know how to nourish ourselves. That is so basic. But we ask only the girls, not the guys. This is where the problem is. You must be thinking that who is this young designer that comes up here to talk about how should we raise the children? Why does she think that women don't have equal rights today when they do? But trust me, the more people I meet, the more I have to struggle to prove my decisions, the more I'm willing to talk about gender equality issues. The more I realize that the problem is not just with the generation of our fathers and forefathers and grandfathers. It persists with the boys and girls of our generation as well. We teach our boys to be competitive. Competitive in terms of success. Competitive in terms of earning more money. Competitive in terms of having a better profile at job. And we do teach our daughters too to be competitive, but we teach them to be competitive to attract better men to get settled. And this is a problem. I'm not talking about few people like Monica ma'am or you who are teaching their daughters to be something else. Like she said, she would want everybody to work. I'm talking about the majority, that this is the problem. And it's happened with me as well. It's not that it hasn't. You know, we are so happy to know about our brother's or son's girlfriend. But our daughter's boyfriend, how could she? How could she? And I fail to understand that how would it happen? Obviously a boy is going to date a girl, right? So we have to accept it both ways. So, you know, what I would want is that it's the time to change. It's the time we stop imposing the rules that society has made for each gender. Yes, we are different biologically. Men are different, women are different. But mentally, we are the same. IQ, we are the same. So today, as I see people from all age groups are here, thank you ma'am for inviting people from all age groups. I would ask you not to give freedom to our girls to live their choices. I would also ask you to tell your boys to lift the burden from their shoulders of earning more, of being hardcore, of not crying, of not expressing their emotions, of not funding their families, everything. Why? Why do they have to only feel the pressure? Why can't it be divided between both men and women? I think when we let women live their choices, and when we let men lift up their burden, what we bestowed on them, only then we can have the gender equality. And that is what we should talk about on Women's Day. And if you want to know more about me, I would not want to say it. You can easily Google my name, you will get a lot more things. Because this is not what I can say on internet, and I wanted to say it to you personally. Let's change our thoughts. Let's change it. That is what Women's Day is about. Thank you.